downgraded your question. I feel it's a process, first of all. In the beginning, conditioning has to be replaced. Only an awakened mind can be an empty mind. A mind that is work in progress needs to be filled with something. And the conditioning is so strong that people usually carry conditioning from their parents, from the people around them. It's a painful process to break your conditioning. We fall so in love with our beliefs that any attempt by anybody to even question that belief, let alone challenge or break it, is met with the greatest resistance. Because first of all, everybody thinks, I am right. Everybody thinks, I know. Everybody thinks, I also know what I don't know. And everybody thinks, I know what I don't need to know. When you're so sure of yourself, then who can help you? Nobody. There was this person, and he went to this guru. He said, I have knowledge, but nobody respects me. And all I yearn for is people to value me, people to know that I am somebody very special. How do I do it? What can I do about it? And the master said, have you studied quantum physics? He said, no, I don't know what that is. Have you studied much mathematics? He said, no. Philosophy? Only heard a bit of your talks. He said, other than that, not much at all. He says, then I'll have to give you the simplest solution. That way, the whole world will respect you. Oh, I would so love that. What do I have to do? All you have to do, he said, is negate everything. Whatever anybody says, if somebody says, he's a good prime minister, you say, I don't think so. Have you seen how he does certain things? Negate it. If somebody says to you, God doesn't exist, just say, are you sure? I actually think differently. I don't think you know about the existence of God. If somebody says, God does exist, you tell them, are you so weak? You think God exists? I don't think so. So whatever anybody says to you, just negate. If somebody says, such a sunny day, tell them, are you sure? I don't think so. How do you know in some part of the world it's not sunny? If somebody says, I think bad times are coming ahead, you're such a pessimist, I don't think so. He said, so you negate everything people tell you, and people will respect you, he said. He said, I don't want to get into trouble, He said, believe me, just do this. So he obviously started doing that, and a month later he went, and he came, and the master said, how's it gone? Do people respect you now? He said, respect me? I've got 500 disciples standing outside. They think I'm the most awakened being. I've broken away with all the conditioning because I challenge everything. So it's so easy to think just because we negate or we rebel that somehow we are right or we are strong. There is no strength in rebellion. It's easy to say this is not right, that's not right, he's not right, she's not right. Strength is looking at yourself in the mirror and say, where did I go wrong? And that has been my personal method ever since. Those who've known me, I don't think anybody can recall any incident where I attacked the other person verbally or saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, and so on. I always ask myself, what could I do differently? And is this the kind of stress I want to keep in my life? So if somebody is happy with their conditioning, if a pig is happy rolling in mud, let it. It will suffocate in a pool of fresh water. Its nature is to roll in mud and go oink, 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 oink. Okay? That's what it knows. You can't turn it into a cow. You can't turn it into a fish. So conditioning or breaking the conditioning is the most painful process. And people who experience most rapid or sustainable transformation are those who say, look, I am willing to open up, I am willing to give it a shot, and I will go through this as far as you want me to go through this. And then a new person will emerge. This is the path from evolution to revolution. With ordinary thoughts, ordinary thinking, you can't bring a revolution in your consciousness, much less in the society. So the breaking of conditioning begins by exposing yourself to a different way of thinking. Then you follow it with a different way of doing. You then augment it with a different way of reciprocating. You then supplement it with a different way of accepting. Your thinking, your actions, your reactions, and your acceptance will give you together a new way to look at life. One good way to break conditioning is to read literature of different kinds. That challenges you. If you absolutely take it for granted that God exists, read literature that negates God's existence. And what happens to your faith then? What happens to your belief then? And when you emerge, the new person in you will be stronger and better equipped to handle inner and outer challenges. That's my view on this matter. I hope I answered your question.